Guys, quick, subscribe to the channel in the next 10 seconds or nothing is actually going to happen. Honestly, like only 20% of you guys who watch my content are subscribed, so if you really want to support me as a creator, just please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video. That's actually all I ask for you to do. It's completely free. You can always unsubscribe in the future if you don't enjoy my content anymore. Just please give me a chance. Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best and easiest high ground retakes in Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 4, and when I say easy, I really do mean that. Now, I've seen a ton of videos on YouTube, you know, high ground retake videos that claim to be easy, and I've watched them and I've thought, bro, these are not easy. I can't do these. These are very hard high ground retakes, and I think it's just stupid, you know? I don't think there is one true high ground retake video that claims to be easy and is actually as easy as it claims to be, you know? So in today's video, I'm gonna actually show you some simple, almost beginner tricks. I mean, they're not just for beginners. These are effective in any scenario. You could be the best player in the world, and these high ground retakes will really help. But for the most part, the whole purpose of this, you could be the worst player in the world and you can still perform these techniques. High ground retakes, they're gonna work, okay? Now, if you guys go ahead to enjoy the video, the least you can do for me is drop a like. Also, subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on. Therefore, you never miss an upload just like this. Oh, and also for you guys that are loyal to my channel, I never really mention it, but I do actually have a Twitter account. Believe it or not, I know I have 12.9k followers, but trust me, no one knows about it. I get no likes. So if you really do want to support me, do watch my content. I post so much stuff over on Twitter. I will link it at the top of the description. Make sure to follow that real quick. So guys, getting straight into this, I'm just going to show you the first high ground retake. We're not going to beat around the bush here. And yeah, so the first high ground retake I'm going to show you in this video. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show an example or like gameplay of me doing this in an actual game or real situation. So whether that's me doing this technique in a 1v1 or actually within maybe an arena or something like that. I'm going to show this high ground retake in use, and then I'm going to slow mode up for you and kind of run you through it so you can thoroughly understand what I'm showing you. So yeah guys, I don't know the name for this, but this is high ground retake number 1. So you guys have just seen that clip there, or the high ground retake. Now what I'm going to do is show you it in real time. So I'm actually going to do it right here, like right now for you guys. And then yeah, I'm going to run you through it and make sure you understand this a little better. So basically what I did, it was kind of like this, and then yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Now, I know that does look fairly complicated, but trust me, it's easy to get your head around, right? Basically, all you're doing, and I also added like further little steez to that, if that makes sense, if you understand that term, something that is steezy. I kind of added a little twist to that. So I have like a style in my play where when I'm doing certain things, I like to kind of like, for example, when you're doing a cone side jump like this, you don't actually have to edit this at all. So you could just place that, jump to the side and do this. But I myself, I kind of like doing like a fake edit, if that makes sense. So I know Clicks does this a lot, but you kind of edit the top piece like that, and I know I'm messing this up here, but kind of like that, if that makes sense. You don't really have to just do that, but I feel like it looks a little bit cooler when you're like in a clip or just doing it in general. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, you just don't need to do all the fancy stuff. All you're doing is going up with a stair. You kind of come up like this, and I know usually you'd probably, I don't know, people maybe do like an edit like this off that, or alternatively, you know, this is maybe my wrong side, but maybe you would do like something like this, kind of simple. Now I will show you actually another tip later in the video that can add to that and is another alternative to doing that, but that right there is probably what you'll do. But now instead of that, you're kind of jumping like this. I know I messed that one up, but you're kind of jumping to the side. Like, I'm so bad at explaining this. You edit the 2 left-hand tiles on your floor. You place a wall like this. So usually when you're doing a side jump, you'd actually do that just to protect your back. But what you're doing here is the same thing. And instead of like jumping like this and doing a cone jump, what you're doing is kind of wrapping around this wall. So you're jumping like this, catching yourself with a floor. So connecting to this wall, catch yourself with a floor, and then you place a stair on your back to protect your back. So let's say someone is up here trying to shoot you. This will basically stop them from shooting you in the head, right? As you're doing this jump, you then come through here, place a cone, then just do a normal side jump. It's kind of that simple. So once again, you're like wrapping yourself across like this. Make sure you get the wall on your back. And yeah, I mean, I know it looks complicated. You guys are probably thinking like, what has he just done there? But if you slow down the video, you watch back the little example, it actually isn't that hard. But I guess I'll just show you it one more time to cut any confusion. I don't want to have any comments on this video saying you're struggling with this. There we go. Slow-mo that all you want. Watch the video back in less speed. And trust me, this is a very effective high ground retake. Again, you know, as I already mentioned, when you're you're like coming across like this, the reason you're actually catching yourself, then placing the stair on your back, it's just to protect yourself, right? And when you're coming off here, they can't actually catch you, because unless, I mean, maybe this wall, but it's going to be a very hard shot depending on that height. And then you've got the cone to protect you, classic side jump, and obviously you have no protection on your back here, but that's exactly why you're just quickly turning like this, edit through, and then you can kind of just go off that, do like a triple edit, do whatever you want, maybe try and clip them like I did. And now swiftly moving on to retake number 2, I actually do not have an example for this one, unfortunately, but this is super easy. Honestly, I probably should have done this in order, maybe put this at the start of the video as the first tip, because this one is really easy. It's not as effective, but it will get the job done. And for the most part, to be honest, I've never took damage doing this, right? It's a super fast one, super simple, like anyone can do this. Beginners, you can be at any skill level, you can do this. And even Clicks, right? Again, I use him as an example so much because I watch his content, but he's a pro player, he's insane, and he uses what I'm about to show you very much. He adds like his little twist to it with like cones, and you know, he does all this crazy mechanical stuff. But even if you're gonna keep it very simple and dumb it down, he does use this, right? He uses it and it works. It's very effective. This is who I got this tip from, but I'm gonna show you it now. I'm sorry for rambling on so much, but basically what you do, I'm actually gonna slow-mo this after I do it, but I'll do it in real time real quick. You literally just go like this. Kind of that simple. Now I kind of messed it up, I'm gonna redo it, but you need to make sure you're editing like those corners here, so both of them, come back, catch yourself, and just kind of do like this thing again. I don't even know what this is exactly called. You just turn yourself around and you go like this, catch yourself, place 2 ramps, you get a cone just ahead, and then you kind of edit through. I don't know what it's exactly called, maybe I should know that. I know all the pros use it, it's like a very effective retake. And to be honest, that isn't even the retake, right? That's just like what you kind of do after the retake to ensure you're not getting hit. It builds guaranteed like walls behind you, and you can really protect yourself with this, make a triple edit off it. It works good, right? But let me just demonstrate this one more time to cut any confusion. It's that simple. So now I'm gonna run you through that a little bit better. All you're doing is, you kind of seen slow-mo that, like, this is really easy to be honest, but where maybe usually off this edit, like, you'd probably end up doing like something like this, as I've already demonstrated or mentioned, or you might probably do what Fxtch does. So pro player Fxtch, he kind of does that, and he always makes sure to put a wall on this side, so basically he can't get shot from this direction. So if he's just casually doing this, he'll always place a wall, and for the most part it does look really good. But a quicker way you can kind of achieve the same thing is, as I shown, this, right? Now Clicks again does it all the time. I think what he does is he puts a cone above him like this. As he does it, he edits a cone, puts a floor, and kind of just comes off it and just does like a bunch of cool edit stuff. It's very complicated what he adds to it, but it's literally as simple as editing these 2 tiles like so, and you literally jump, look back, reset this floor so you can catch yourself with another floor and a ramp. You then turn around real quick and you do that. I kind of messed that one up, but it's just basically this. Now I know to some of you guys that it's going to sound really stupid and as if like it doesn't actually achieve much, but trust me, if you're like going like up like this in a fight and someone is above you and you really need to get over them to elevate quick, if you just quickly whack out this, you'll be over them in no time, and it's super fast as well. Like, it isn't a hard thing to pull off. Yeah, usually in most high ground retakes, you're doing like a ton of combinations and like confusing things in a way, so you have to actually really think about what you're doing. But with this, there really isn't much thought to it. Like, anyone can do it. You're literally just catching yourself like that, and I think what comes after it is like the main thing and what really is like the make or break with this. But that's all down to you and what you want to add to it, and also very much depending on how much high ground you need to retake. So let's say the player is only elevated like a stair or 2 above you. For the most part, this right here will actually cover that, and you can probably get directly into that box. Like, if you're gonna come off this edit here, the triple edit with something like I just did, you can pretty catch them and get a nice pump shot. And now moving on to the 3rd high ground retake I'm going to show in this video. I told you this was going to be kind of an easy video. Like, beginners will be able to do these retakes, but they are fairly effective for any scenario. Now this is not your textbook retake. I mean, it is a high ground retake. Maybe some of you will disagree with that, but trust me, it really is effective. So basically what it is, it's as simple as knowing how to 90s. So I guess that would be a first one, learn how to do clean 90s. Now of course, even like a 90 is technically a high ground retake. I know it's not exactly a technique, you know, everyone can do it, but if you've got good 90s, for the most part, that alone is going to be a good high ground retake, right? So if your opponent is ramping really far above you like so, or they already have high ground, you want to take that off them, if you've got fast 90s, no matter what they're doing to maintain high ground, you know, you can just quickly crank your fast 90s, and for the most part, like, you will get high ground back. But of course, you know, it isn't always effective. You're gonna need to throw off your opponents, and now one way you can do that and add to your 90s, it would be to actually 90, do what, like, you can maybe do 2 90s, you can do 1, 2, you can kind of work this one out for yourself. But let's say you do like 1 to 2 90s, you can maybe do 3, but let's say like 1, 2, you want to then, when you're at this point of the ramp, you're gonna place 2 stairs out like this, place a cone on each stair. You can literally do it from this distance, so no matter how how far you are down from the ramp, you can do this, place both stairs and place both cones. And then instead of actually going up and maybe editing through these cones, this is where you'll trick your opponent. You kind of just want to go up to the top of the ramp, place a floor, place a stair, and then just do the same again. So keep 90 and do the same thing. Now I kind of messed it up there, but yeah, you get the picture. You will really get a rhythm for it. Now it looks kind of messy, and I'm kind of doing this kind of messy, but let me just show you this one more time in real time. I don't think this is hard to get your head around, but yeah, it kind of just works like that, and yeah, it's really effective for the most part. The reason you're doing this right here is because no matter where your opponent is, what they're going to think is this is where you're going to edit out. So if they're like high on you, quite high up, what they're going to do is basically be waiting. Okay, nice, it just reset. But let me just, you know, before I get really interrupted, let me just redo this here. But let's say your opponent is somewhere up here. Like, let's just ignore this part here. Like, this is where we just... But they'll be looking down on you, right? Waiting for a shot on this cone. And yeah, they're going to be waiting for you to edit out of here, of course. That's what they're thinking, right? And as they're waiting for that, you're going to kind of throw them off guard. You're going to startle them a bit. And you're just going to keep 90ing, doing your fast 90s, and just doing the same thing. They're not going to actually know when you're truly going to make that edit out. And it's going to throw them off. Now, a vital tip to this, again, would be a 90. Now, what I would recommend to do this the fastest is, of course, you do your normal 90s like this. So for the first one, just do a basic 90. So let's say you go like this, normal 90, you place out the stair and pyramid. Then what you want to do is, instead of doing a normal 90 off this, so again doing that same rotation or whatever, like I don't know, maybe you're doing spider 90s like this, what you want to do is normal 90, place like this, and just come to the top of your ramp, place a floor and then a stair. It's that simple. Sometimes you will phase through, but if you do it correctly and you're going further enough up on your ramp, you can easily just phase onto the ramp instead of phasing through it, if that makes sense. So you know, it's kind of faster. It requires you not to actually have to jump here, and it just flows that little nicer. It's like really nice to do. A good way you can revise this and practice it a little more would be to actually just do all your 90s like this. So let's say you're doing a double 90, you can go like this, place that, go like this, place like that, go like this, place at the top, and then you can actually now implement that into this technique where you're actually kind of going like this. And with that being said, that is all I have in today's video. And now I know they're not the most impressive flashy retakes. That isn't meant to be the point. Just so you know, the first one is hardest, second one is actually second easiest, and the last one was probably the easiest. I probably should have made some orders to this, but hopefully this helped. You know, again, it was meant to be easy, meant to be simple. These are effective. Pros use these techniques, I use them myself, and in the majority I win most of my build fights and 1v1s. They do work. If you guys happen to enjoy the video, the least you can do for me is, I'm surely doing my job right. If you got to this part, it's just drop a like. Trust me, like, it truly does mean a lot, and it helps out so much more than you think. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also subscribe to the channel, therefore you never miss an upload, just like this. If you do that, make sure notifications are turned on, because then you actually won't miss an upload. I know a ton of people usually complain that they are missing videos even with notifications turned on. There will be an option, you do need to select all. So yeah, there's literally an option which says all. Make sure you do that, because then that means you get notified for every video, right? Hopefully that helped. But I hope everyone has an amazing day. It's been with Fxtch, and yeah, peace.